Okay, just got the beta. Total shock. We weren't expecting to get it anytime soon because we drove, I don't know, it was like 100 miles or something yesterday, and it was absolutely miserable stop and go traffic, so I got dinged a bunch. But apparently, all the 100 plus days that we received on, and for those of you who've been following any of the Tesla channels, you know that all of us are trying to keep our scores at 100 on that beta system they have for insurance purposes. So, sitting right now just on a street near my house, so I can get an idea of what this thing can do. I live in a very rural area, so I'm actually quite curious to see how it navigates just some of these streets, especially at night. All right, we are letting the car drive for the first time on its own. Now I am keeping my hand on the wheel because, well, let's be honest, this is the first time I've ever had something driving for me officially. A couple little bumps. I live in a very rural area, so I'm sorry that it's just completely dark around us right now. I wish it was a full moon because then it would be almost like daylight, but unfortunately, that's not how it works. Okay, we're coming up to the end of a very small, this is actually technically a driveway that we're on right now. So it's trying to figure out where to go. And I've seen, I think it's Dirty Tesla has done quite a lot of rural driving. Oh, wow, that's just really weird. That is the weirdest feeling thing ever. All right, so we have double lines, and then, of course, lines disappear on this road. So the car's like, wait, do I go to the center? What do I do? So it actually just moved a little more to the center than I prefer. It did not like something. I don't know what it was. I think it's the way the road is. Yeah, it's not liking the road. It sees a bunch of lights on the side because there's some very pretty Christmas lights. So this is interesting. Driving in a rural area, it seems to have a little bit more of a challenge. I think it's because there aren't any streetlights. Now we will be entering an area that has streetlights soon, and that should make life a lot easier for it. But it's actually kind of fascinating that the car, as you can see by the red, it doesn't necessarily know where the side of the road is. But that's a-okay. Because in a moment we'll be in a semi-normal area, I guess you could say. I don't know, this is normal for me. All right, creeping forward, checking visibility. I won't let it do anything that hurts us. The car's saying it thinks it can do this. All right, now this is a pretty well-lined area for the next few hundred meters or so. And then, of course, the lines disappear again, but that's okay. All right. There's a car coming up ahead, so we'll see how it handles that, because about the time we're going to hit that, there's only a couple little dots in the center. Although the car does seem to do a good job at night, even before the beta. I don't know how it's going to do now, but with the normal, yeah, it picks right up on the fact that there's some reflectors in the middle of the street. At night, it's always done pretty well with that. It's funny, during the day, it tends to have a hard time with that. All right. First time passing a car with the car driving itself, it's doing fine. I mean, I guess it's, yeah, I mean, this is really kind of cool. All right. Oh, this is too cool. This is too cool. Oh, I could really see a lot. I never realized how much these cameras can see off the road, but that's actually really good. Now we're actually right next to a lake, as that's what that big thing is that you're seeing on the screen over here. That's called Little Lake Harris. Oh, okay. a little rough, but we're good. Decided to take that at a weird angle. Now we are on the left side of the road. It's fixing itself, mostly. We're in the center of the road, but it's a smaller road. I kind of get it. Hopefully it turns off its high beams. There we go. Alright, we may have to take over here because this is a really challenging spot. Yeah, I'm paying attention to the road, don't worry. Oh, that was actually really good. That was actually really, really good because that's a steep... I live in Florida, in central Florida, and we do get quite a lot of rain at times, mostly in the summer. We're in our dry season now, but so a lot of these roads, like the one we just came off of, at the bottom of it, it's pretty steep because it's designed for the water runoff to move quickly, but down the side of the road instead of just in the center. I am going to slow us down a little bit, though, because in the area I'm at in Howey in the Hills, Florida, you kind of want to do the speed limit. Don't ever go through here above 35. Our police are great. Everyone, Rick and his team, he's the police chief, they're awesome. But it's, you want to be careful. They're very strict on speed limit here. It's just a little local knowledge for anyone who comes to Central Florida. All right, let's see. Okay, apparently I'm not putting enough pressure with my hand. It's okay. It's kind of a balancing act when you're not taking over every 30 seconds. And the car's doing great. I'm going to let it... Okay, it wanted to take us down a side street, then it decided not to do that, thankfully. Wow, this is actually doing really well. Now again, there's no lights here. There isn't a lot of light pollution out in this area, so we'll see. Now right now we are following two cars, so I'm thinking that the car will do okay. It should have put a blinker on, but we'll kind of go with this for right now. There we go. There's the blinker. There you go. All right, we're clear, we're good. All right, here we go. Now I will say some of these spots over here, it takes a weird line through and past. Oh, good, it didn't. It's almost like it feels like it's going to throw you right into the other lane. And invariably, there's always a tractor trailer or something massive coming my direction at the moment it does that. And, they're kind of hugging the line a little on these roads. So, yeah, that's an uncomfortable feeling. It's nice to see that's fixed. So I have it programmed to stop just sort of about another half a mile basically in on this road on 19. I am going to turn here. I'm going to turn this off for now. I am going to park over here for a minute and then get another address put in for us. Okay, so we are leaving Publix. It's a local grocery chain, and we're going to let it drive out of the parking lot. It did not like the parking lot a whole lot at night. There's a lot of people moving around, a lot of cars moving around, so I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. It's kind of funny. So I ended up taking over briefly to get to where I thought was a safer spot to start it. But let's see how it does. Now I have it programmed to take us to a place called JB Boondocks. It's just a local restaurant. It's actually one of my favorites in the whole area. So, and it's near my house. So, this is good stuff. Alright, let's see how we do. Oh, we've got a green light. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. Oh, good job, good job. Ignore them. Yes, I'm going to talk to the car. Her name is Zoe, by the way, so, you know, if you hear me talking to Zoe, it's not another person in the car, it's the car. I know everyone names their car, but, you know, especially these days, I guess. With the Teslas, you actually name your car. You go into the menu and give it a name. I know some people just call it an obscure name, and we actually named ours. So we waited to see what kind of personality it had. You know, we figured, you know, it's cute and tacky, and it reminded me of a character from one of the TV series that I used to watch. Her name was Zoe, and just utterly brilliant, as she turned out to be. So I was hoping my car would follow suit with that and be utterly brilliant. And so far, I have to tell you, owning a Tesla is wonderful. Oh, and that TV series is called Eureka. For those who don't already know that, yes, sci-fi, lots of fun. I have to say, it's such a weird feeling because I use the auto drive all the time, but this is just vastly different. And I don't even know how to explain the difference in feeling. It's almost as if the car is more assertive. You know, I could deal without some of the phantom braking, but thankfully there's no one behind me right now. Otherwise that would actually be quite annoying. I think the car, oh, that was probably my fault. I need to put a little more pressure on the steering wheel. I will get this right at some point. I'll try and rest my hand on that part instead. I usually keep my hand on the bottom left, and just holding onto it gently, the weight of my hand's usually enough. But I think they're being extra careful to make sure you're actually touching the steering wheel now, and looking for a little more pressure. It's the only thing I can think of. And this seems to be working better. Okay, so I've got my hand on the sort of the top left now, so there's a little bit more torque. With the normal auto drive, I think this would have pulled it out, frankly, but this seems to be doing just fine. Some of the other folks who do these videos as a regular thing, they for some reason don't ever have these issues. So guessing you just learn the right pressure just like you do with the other version after a while. Alright, good. The high beams went off at a good time. That's good. That's, of course, a normal feature, but for almost every car now. But nice to know we're not blinding anyone. We are cruising. I don't know what it saw there. You know, actually, that is an area where this car has always freaked out. Ever since they put this new bridge in and did this new area over here, all the different lines going in different directions tend to freak it out a little bit. It's actually almost comical. But so far so good. This is just a good straightaway. That's really good. Alright, definitely stop. Definitely stop. Good job. Alright, Zoe did good. She didn't careen us into the mission end sign in front of us. That's always good. I don't think they'd be happy with me. Actually, I don't think I'd have been the first either. Alright. I should have a green light in a moment. Green. Wow. Alright, it almost immediately goes. Oh, it did really well on that. That's there's a lot of lane markings that are missing or worn. So that's actually really, really nice to see. We are coming back into Howie, so I'm going to make sure it's doing just the speed limit. No idea what that was for. So far, this has been an outstanding drive, I have to say. I'm very, very impressed. I am curious though, if I put a blinker on, if it'll listen to me. Because there's a better way when it wants to take us. So I may pop it out in a minute. Okay. Lost your high beam privileges, Zoe. I'm not going to drive down the street flashing everyone. Alright. Down to 35. So running across the street. Thankfully no one got hurt. Okay. I have taken over because I want her to go this way instead. That's why I was curious to see how it would handle some of these cars on the side of the street. It's also a three-way stop, four-way stop, I guess, technically, because of the little marina area there. Alright. Okay. Wow. Alright, we are here.